Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. And just like that, Season 2, Episode 6. Oh, God.
No,
With Che in a rut following a dismal TV focus group, Carrie asks them to join her at a conference where she'll be the keynote speaker. Lily announces she's ready to lose her virginity, and Miranda broaches an uncomfortable conversation with Daddy Steve.
Ooh,
that was a lot. That was a mouthful, and now I'm scared because now I have to lead this whole thing. So
you do.
Hi guys.
Annie, how's your week?
In the words of the great Dorinda Medley, not well, bitch. That didn't really work with it, but
No, that worked.
How you doing?
Perfectly.
Not well, bitch.
My week. Yeah.
Here's where I'm at is okay. Guys, check out our Patreon.
Hear a rant, yeah.
I think I want these to be evergreen. People can listen to them at any time. Honestly,
when I listen to Doughboys episodes, they pre-recorded 6 months of back episodes because Mitch went to Canada. So now they're airing episodes from June, July, August, where every episode they were making jokes like, well, Trump's going to be president. And now it's like everyone in the comments are like, I can't listen to these episodes. Yeah. So let's keep ours nice and,
all I'll say is hopefully what we're doing right now is still allowed from my end in the next little while. I mean, you do have a gay person and a Canadian.
You're a man, though.
Talking about sex, honey.
I'm a woman.
I think that I don't think it's going to work out well for me. In that type of, if things really go to hell, I am a man, but okay, I can't here's what I'll say.
But yeah, go listen to Patreon.
Here's the thing. Can you put the banner up?
What banner?
The Patreon banner.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Over there, technically that episode is about girls, which was boring, but it'll be literally probably
it wasn't boring.
It was fine. But it'll be about 45 minutes of ranting about rights, etc. And I would think that anyone who is listening to a damn freaking thing about Sex in the City and just like that would be minorly hip with it. So check out our Patreon, $6 a month, patreon.com/podandthecity. Check it out because we have a really fun community. Lots of people love it. I should ask some of our Patreon people to write us testimonials or something because there's people over there who they've been there since the start. They've been loving, living, laughing.
Nice group. I feel so safe in the Pod in the City community. Same. Seriously, I always say that. I love the group over here.
I think what happens is people, they either are okay with listening to me have my feelings or they're not, and then they just quit and cancel, and then that's okay.
I feel like there's a warm hug for both of us over here.
Agreed.
And I send that out to our audience. I'll say this. Me and John have not really talked. You did not respond to texts for about 2 days, which I was fine.
Girl,
I just felt like I needed.
Not in the mood for some.
I know. I just texted, all of my besties out there, and I was like, just so you know, I'm here for you whenever you're ready. So this will be the first I'm really talking to Joan about it.
Yeah, because our episodes last week were are done.
Thank God, though.
Thank God, it really worked out, guys.
Would we have done the weekly roundup? I don't know if we would have done it.
I don't know.
Would we have been in a headspace to do it?
I probably just would have been it'll probably would have been what our Patreon will be which will be just me ranting. So, check out our weekly roundup. It's really fun. If you're only listening to this, or watching this. We do a weekly like gossip show with all the stuff that we like in it. This week, we're really heavy on the Wicked movie. They're having the premieres. We're talking about the Drag Race, everything. There's 50 million of them. And of course, this bitch on the end, Nicole Scherzinger, who really dashed her chances of getting a Tony. So if you have any interest in any of that, please check out our weekly roundups too. Subscribe, okay? Subscribe and hit like, because sometimes people just forget to hit like. So here's your reminder, babes. Hit like.
Leave a comment too.
Yeah.
I want comments over here.
Leave a
There's no news and gossip other than the fact that, and just like that, just wrapped.
I couldn't remember if we talked about this last week or if we did talk about it on our weekly roundup. I think we just talked about it then, but and just like that, they wrapped. Guys,
I didn't know there was still
who knows
filming.
when the season's coming out.
2025.
I'm predicting summer.
No, it can't be summer. That's outrageous.
I am predicting it.
We need it now more than ever.
Do we? In fact, I'd rather be watching Sex and the City. So maybe I'd like this, this season. Anyway, we're all over the place here, like usual. So
Carrie would probably vote for Trump.
I don't think so.
Definitely voted for Trump.
I don't think Carrie would. She'd consider it because she's fiscally.
I feel like Big voted for Trump and Carrie just didn't vote. Because it doesn't affect me specifically.
This is the week that we're going to get a ton of comments under here. I think that, I want to believe that all of them voted. I know exactly how Miranda would have voted. So there you go.
Well, yeah.
I'll stick to that.
She wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, I'm sure.
Miranda has definitely ruined and just like that. I hate her character in this. And why is she the comic relief? Anyway, and just like that finished filming. You guys, are you ready to get into this episode? Because I'm ready to just do it.
This is a good episode. Now, I told you, because you were watching Girls, you're like, it sucks. And I was like, well, don't worry. And just like, that's pretty good. I said it. Now, it's not as good as the movie, obviously, but it gives me shades of the movie in the musical choice, like the way they use the music and the scene, like, it was a pretty gorgeous scene of them like running through the blizzard. I was like,
that is when I started to get really excited. Yeah. Them in the blizzard, LTW in the blizzard, the coats, the changing of the blizzard clothes, like
the fashion, like Carrie's outfit is so outrageous, and I gasped the first time I saw it.
And what she does when she arrives to WidowCon had me dead.
And LTW
checks her coat.
What?
She goes, okay, so Carrie arrives at WidowCon after wearing that huge dress coat thing. And the first thing she does is she walks away from the coat check room. So basically, Carrie left it in her coat check room at the
I guess you'd have to, right?
I just think it's hilarious. It's fabulous. And I don't need to believe what's going on. If they're going to feed me the hot fellas fucking bullshit, then this, I'm like, great. And LTW, when she took her wig off the first time and then changes into the look, I was like shivers.
Yeah, I know. That was
so okay. Yeah. So unlike, I'm still adjusting to the episodes just like starting. There's no like my friends were blah blah blah. It's just like Carrie's sitting at her computer doing what I do every time before I get on
this
here.
Weird like song. It was like Glee. It was like Glee. The Glee soundtrack on it. It was like ba 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 ba.
I was okay with it.
I was
only
okay with
because most of the songs they play on here are like boring and really slow. So I was kind of okay with it. If they have something that's like a little more upbeat. Carrie's getting ready in front of her computer for a Zoom meeting. She's like moving the curtains. I was like, I'm fine with this. Fill the time with this and the walking through the blizzard in beautiful outfits more than like having inane bullshit like that comes up here in a few seconds.
You know what I wanted to tell her? It'd be like, hey, you see how you're doing this from your apartment? You could have just done that with you and your podcast with Che.
Maybe it wouldn't have been canceled then. You know, there's a lot of overhead for those podcast like companies. You know, the two of us, we're just over here, get on StreamYard, you know, have our subscription and slap her on up. I mean, you know, we're rolling in it over here. We have a million subscribers.
But it's like Carrie, like also the way this podcast interview happens. There's so many things wrong with it. First of all, that Carrie would like do.
Was it even a podcast interview? Because it almost seemed like this girl, this girl is an influencer. She's like, for my audience. Oh, I guess.
I think it's a podcast, but she's also like, you know, probably does everything.
But she's also doing a weird version of a podcast too, because would you be like this if we had someone on our thing?
No, and that's
our guest. Tell us, what's your book about?
I think that this is the writer's room being like, we're gonna get those Gen Z kids, and they're, but like I don't really think a lot of podcasts are actually conducted like this. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, Heather McDonald interviewed Janelle Brown this week, though, and it kind of was like this. She's like, so did you grow up in polygamy? I'm like, oh my God.
Was Janelle there? Like,
no, but still, it was like, you got Janelle
So it was like this. It was just like this. Then.
Yeah, I guess it was like this.
Yeah, okay, so you guys, as you know, Amanda and I, we prepare a lot for this. So we would never have a guest and just ask them what their book is about.
But that would just be insane. Like, why would anyone do that? That has nothing to do with like her being a bad podcast. I think this girl is just an asshole that you would
she was a
any
twat.
kind of situation.
The way this whole worked out, because Carrie's like, oh yeah, a Zoom anytime for this book tour it beats flying coach out of Newark. The girl's like, you're so effing funny. And she's like, so like, how much time is this? Is the inane part that was like, okay, get to the point. Because she's like, how much time do you think it'll take us? Oh, like, or how much time do you have for me today? Oh, 40 minutes. No way is it going to take 40 minutes. Oh, okay. Let's just get this done. We couldn't have cut that. I mean, we could have cut that from this and saved all our listeners the time too. So, okay. So I just Googled
you know what I will. Okay. I think that this episode is written. I should have looked this up. It seems like this episode was written by somebody totally different who has seen the show and respects it, possibly a millennial, dare I say. And I almost feel like it was directed by somebody good as well, because the direction was really good. And the writing of this, I appreciated that all of it connected. Like her computer falls off her table here because of the Zoom interview. Thus, she needs to get a new computer with Seema. So she gets the new computer. And thus, because it's a new computer that Seema isn't even familiar with yet, it causes that kerfuffle to happen when Seema's at Carrie's computer, where she doesn't know how to like change tabs, and then the Aiden
brings up the Aiden email.
Like, they didn't even need that much storytelling.
You know what? I'm glad that you're giving them some props here.
I mean, I was like, that was an amount of storytelling that was not required, and we like, what do we owe this?
Well, it's definitely better than what like has been happening in all the episodes leading up to this, which would be like, I spilled coffee on my computer.
Yeah,
but like, it would be like, it wouldn't even. I don't know what it would be.
Here's the thing. Now that I've said that, I'm realizing that we could have cut 15 minutes out of this episode and just had it be.
Thank you.
Seema's at Carrie's computer and she accidentally clicks something. She accidentally hits the change tab button and it flicks in front of her. No explanation needed.
I'm still sticking to it that like watching these, if the entire episode was 15 minutes shorter, it would be so much more enjoyable.
15 minutes shorter. That's exactly.
There is enough that they could cut 15 minutes out of all of this. But I'm glad they didn't cut a couple scenes, because like I teared up later. So I forgot that Carrie's second book was named Manhattan.
Yeah, there's no way that Samantha must have been up in her publicist at that point. Samantha would never have let that. Honey.
So she's like, okay, so tell me about your new book, Loved and Lost. And Carrie's like, tell you? And she's like, oh, Carrie's like, I'm sorry, did you not read the book? And she's like, what is it about? And Carrie's like, death. And the girl's like, hilarious. And Carrie's like, no, it's about my husband dying. And she's like, so girl, what lipstick shades are you just loving right now? Which, yeah, I guess. I don't know what the...
No, this is kind of how Heather McDonald's interview was.
Was there a point of this to this?
I think it was just. I honestly think that this was just a jab at Gen Z. I think this is 100% what this is. Like these fucking 20-year-olds, influencers.
Well, now we're with Naya and Miranda in Naya's apartment, which I like Naya's apartment a lot. Miranda has this hilarious moment where, she woke up and it's light out and the church bells are chiming. She must have, her alarm didn't go off. Brady! Come to find out, guys, it's Sunday morning.
Brady is 34 years old, Miranda. He's fine.
I'm confused here too. Brady's not 30.
He's not 9.
Okay. My thing here is that this doesn't make sense because it's on a Sunday. If this was on a Saturday, it would make slightly more sense. No one is scrambling up on a Sunday, are they? Or are you I'm confused here. Because especially because she hasn't been drinking or anything.
She thinks that it's a work day. She thinks that it's
on Sunday.
Isn't that what the hilarious joke was here? Is that her alarm didn't go off.
Yes. But what I'm asking is wouldn't it make more sense if you slept in and thought it was a weekday on a Saturday than on a Sunday?
I don't.
Or am I too logical? If I've learned anything the last fucking week, it's just don't be logical and just be stupid, and you can be everything.
All right, sure.
Be a horrible person, and you can get everything.
Hey, we'll save that for the Patreon, my friend. I like the little dynamic here between her and Naya, at least.
I do too.
Hey, girlfriends, in their...
I guess, but Naya's like, ew, your pajamas. And she's like, well, I've just been so confused with the time since becoming a nomad.
Well, that's your own choice, bitch. You have 3 houses now?
And then later...
3 houses now.
Spoiler alert. We find out and realize that Steve basically did everything in Miranda's house. So I was so on his side. Anyway.
That conversation was just really well written because it was very much how when men leave women and they're like, well, I paid for everything. And the woman's like, but I made the house.
Yeah, it's like a reversal of that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Good. The writer of this was good. I'm gonna look that up while you keep talking there.
So Naya they introduced this idea that Naya is working on her own divorce papers by herself, and I believe they only did this so that they could make a stupid joke, which was no fault divorce. Oh, must be nice to have a no-fault divorce. Mine's an all-my-fault divorce.
Right. So her whole storyline here for the past few episodes is how guilty she feels. But then at the end of this episode, is the resolution supposed to be that she's alleviated of all guilt because Steve had sex with someone? Because you still fucked up, bitch.
She was beyond awful to both Che and Steve in this episode. I thought she was so unlikable to
Che. I thought Che was insane in this episode, except likable with.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Now that I'm remembering the cameos in bed after bedtime. Okay with that? From bed?
Yeah. Hey, babe.
Did you need to do it
right?
next to your sleeping partner?
I'm also not even going to tell you about it. I'm just going to do it and assume you're just going to.
It makes no fucking sense. And all of the things were like, hey, Kyle, happy birthday. This is Che Diaz. Yeah.
Oh my God, poor Sarah Ramirez. Oh, the director of this episode was Cynthia Nixon.
I was gonna
wow.
Because
and the writers were Michael Patrick King and Darren Starr, and then somebody named Rachel Palmer.
Well, maybe. Now, this still, I would still say that almost every Sex and the City episode was better than this episode still.
Okay, this is the only episode Rachel Palmer is credited as writing. So I bet she was
the driving force here.
The ringer in the room.
Maybe she had submitted the script and they were like, oh, we'll take it and we'll brush it up.
I would like to know how old she is because I feel like that would inform a lot, right? Rachel Palmer, writer.
I'll keep going. So LTW and George Washington are in bed with their children. Weird. I guess that's what people do with kids. You guys lay in bed like on Sunday morning, 4 of you, 1 kid on the phone, looking at the paper. And this is where we are being led to believe that Ralph Lauren ad has a full page spread in the New York Times, like top to bottom. Do you believe this?
Say that again. Oh, Rock. Sorry, I found Rachel Palmer.
Rock's Ralph Lauren ad. Oh yeah, I guess you were saying Ralph Palmer.
Are you seeing this?
You're saying Ralph. What'd you say, Rachel Palmer? I'm saying Rock, and I'm also saying Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren, Rock, Rachel Palmer. Anyway, whatever.
Rachel Palmer looks to be our age, by the way.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna guess. Is like she's probably like,
yes. Which is look, that's what we thought would happen, and good, we figured it out.
Like someone who like read the comments about season 1 and was like,
watched the show and remembers it, and has also grown with the times. And
I think this whole second season is much better than the first season because the first season was really bad, and the second season they at least. I'm only crediting the improvements. To the audience reaction.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that is the only reason that they're fixing and like adjusting some things.
You can see from about last episode and then throughout the rest of the season that Che immediately becomes more 3-dimensional.
I've been like, I didn't like Che at the beginning with the cameos, but later in the episode, I was so with.
It's like, oh, you just need to be away from Miranda, but when you're with other people, you're like normal.
Well, Miranda
brings out the worst in them.
Miranda was awful this episode, so I'm hoping maybe Miranda will start some therapy or something. That might be good for her. Is that what follows here? I've never seen the rest of the episode yet, guys.
And also the drinking is never. The drinking is addressed in this episode for 1 second because Carrie brings.
Oh yeah, because they bring non-alcoholic wine. But
okay.
They're in bed. They call Charlotte and they do this whole thing. And Anthony is like annoying me because he's like giving me Iago the parrot vibes now. Like he's just there to be like, Rock's the rock star, Rock's the rock star.
The Affleck.
Yeah, seriously, it's like that's literally all he seems to be there for. And I guess to later this season take it up the ass. I guess that's what we're here. I'm waiting. Law's. Oh, who's Law? Oh, LTW's kid jumps up on the bed and then jumps on George Washington's dick. And the other kid said, Gabby jumped on Daddy's penis.
I bet it's big. He's a big man.
I bet he knows how to use. I bet that man knows how to fuck. Don't you think?
I want him to like grab my hips and just like pull me to the end of the bed. Yeah, you like that?
I want him to grab my ankles and like pull me to the. You know, if you're like laying in bed, you could be reading a book. He grabs your ankles like this.
Hot, yeah.
This direction pulls you down, then flips his hands and puts your ankles back. Okay, I'm gonna need that to happen. Wow. Okay,
I'm gonna need that to happen. Okay,
after this happen at some point. Anyway, maybe not with George Washington, but anyway, they're on the phone. Okay, Lily. This is when we find out through a missed lunch reservation at Nobu for Lily and her boyfriend. Who is he even her boyfriend? It more sounds like it's her.
I think this is a very mature and healthy way to lose your virginity.
I completely agree, actually, and I'm surprised that she's so open about it. She's like, Well, she wasn't. I guess she's not really open about it. They kind of push
But
her
this
to
is
be open
great,
about
and
it.
I like that they're making Charlotte, because you wouldn't think that Charlotte would be such a sex positive mom, but, like, I kinda
Mhm.
like that they're pushing that, and, like, with the tampon storyline. Um,
I
and
really like what they're all the things that they're giving Charlotte and how they are using Charlotte as the way of connecting like a mother that would be very uptight and very like you would expect them to based on the way that they
for
have
sure.
presented themselves, you'd
It's like he's
expect them to be
breaking the cycle of that, like,
Mhm.
waspy
And
almond mom.
and she even really mentions that too, that like her own parents were like they pretended like sex was
Oh, yeah, are you kidding?
like taboo. And so she wants to be like the complete opposite of that, basically.
And this is
So
perfect. She's like, "I know all about this. We're friends. We've known each other for years. This is a great way to do this."
yeah, yeah. Like they suggest that maybe that she just needed some attention because Rock is a model. But I think it's just because she wants to lose her virginity, y'all. Once I set my little coat, sister's coat. I don't know what the hell that is.
She's like,
She's
"Oh, Rock,
saying that.
she just want we thought maybe she just needs attention because Rock's a model." And Anthony's like, "One time I set my sister's coat on fire." And then that was the button of that
It was
scene.
like was he on the set for this day? Like he didn't contribute
Like, why don't you
anything
jump
to the
into the scene?
scene.
Yeah, he spends a lot of
Literally.
time at their I feel like even if I lived down the street from you, like, I wouldn't be at your house as much as Anthony's at their house just for, like, a random Wednesday. Or maybe I would.
No.
Maybe I
Well,
would. I feel like I would. I feel comfortable. We've at least lived that life before, but very few
it's
people know
hard
that I
though because it's different because he's also a gay guy going and being with like a family every night. It's not like a
Yeah,
gay guy going to join his like gal pal to go like hang
and
out
her
and smoke
dogs.
weed.
Yeah.
Like it's like
It's like, "What are you
I'm gonna
doing
go be
here?"
with your family. It'd be like if you and Jody lived close and you went and just like hung out with like with all the time with her
You'd be fine.
all the time with her kids.
I think I would annoy them so much, and they'd be like, "Don't touch anything." I'm like, I'm so, like, trashy compared to her and her family.
Oh
I'm like a
wow.
little hood rat.
Okay, great. LTW and George Washington is like worried his penis is broken, I guess. And they have this whole back and forth where he's like, the deputy mayor just confirmed my Wall Street campaign event Wednesday. Get ready to dazzle and shine these guys out of their money. And we find out that that's actually when LTW's like movie premiere talk back is at the MoMA, which
Yeah,
is a
and
big fucking thing.
you could kinda see where this storyline was going, but then at the end when it happened, I still fucking cried. I'm definitely gonna start my period this week.
Oh,
Jody just started hers.
I was so annoyed at him. This like I don't know. Like I feel like I would want to. I feel
No,
like
no, I thought it was presented in a good way. They both equally have something important to be at.
yeah. It just feels like it was felt. It felt slightly like he was slightly diminishing what her stuff
Yeah, but
was as
she's
in the
funny because he's
importance.
like, "Oh, you were still gonna go to that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna go to that." Like, just the way they were,
I
like, interacting with each other was very funny.
This episode made me just be like, I love LTW, and I'm
Yeah,
glad
oh,
because they have finally not just this episode, but they're building this season something for her. Literally, last season, her whole thing was that she was like an uptight mom at a school. Like,
yeah, she
who
actually
gives a
she has a pretty crazy storyline that gets, started and then wrapped up in, like, the
oh.
last 2 episodes. It's actually really dumb, but, like, I mean, it's a good storyline.
Okay,
But
I
it's
have a
like,
prediction of what it is.
what?
Pregnancy scare.
Oh, well, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Okay. So basically, yeah, that is a conversation. She's like, oh, he's like, oh, you're still doing that? And she's like, yeah, my career, I'm still doing that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, I just meant, why don't you just come and say a quick hello at my event and then you can go to yours? And she's like, did it ever cross your mind that maybe you could go to a quick hello at your event and then go to mine? How's the and then she's like, how's that pain level now? And it's like about his dick, blah, blah, blah. And she laughs. And then it cuts to Lily in her room playing Lily's angsty ass music, which is like
It's just minor chords. It's just minor chords. My
Could
most
you tell
hated
us what
thing.
those were? Like I did like now. Yeah, it's hard. I'm in this place where like I don't like the idea of parents diminishing their children in moments. And Charlotte's like, could you please stop playing that? It just makes everything seem so sad.
Yeah,
And I could see
minor
that
key
being a
music stuff.
reason, but I could see that being a reason why Lily writes a fucking song about her later, and it's like, I'm not allowed to be sad, because that's like what Lily's music sounds like.
For
Okay,
sure.
so they say today's the big day to get fucked, I guess, and she's like, "Ugh, not anymore. Blake's parents decided not to go to Connecticut, and Charlotte's like, well, I'm really glad that you opened up about it to me. And that's where we're saying that her parents were more, you know, uptight. And yeah, I don't really remember my parents talking a lot about it in a way of I think my dad talked about sex in the way that like most men talk about it, but not in a
Right.
way
Yeah.
of the actual thing, or like more in like a disgusting way, you know. And then like my mom certainly wasn't talking to me about sex. My parents did always say, use protection, all of that.
My
So at
parents
least,
never even said that.
at
It was
least my
not
parents
just
were very
that.
much like that. Shit, my parents did not want me to. No, I don't think they thought I was getting anyone pregnant.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you didn't worry about STDs though.
Yeah, I think it was probably more that. I was gonna say
Yeah.
for a second, they were worried about me getting someone pregnant, and I'm like, I don't think so. It's more the other bad thing, Anyway, I'm just really glad you're opening. Blah 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 blah. So, can I start playing? Oh, okay, great. You feel like you aren't ready to take this next. Oh, okay. So Charlotte's asking more about taking the next step with Blake. Blake likes her. They've been known each other since like elementary school or something, and they talk about condoms. Lily alludes that they've known about condoms since she was in the 5th grade, so she's like on top.
We
of
never
it.
learned about comments, but I went to a Catholic school. No,
We
that
did.
makes sense. You did?
Cool.
Yeah, we didn't learn that. I don't remember learning jack shit during sex ed.
We learned about like wet dreams. I remember that part.
Oh yeah, we didn't learn. We learned about just like the anatomy. You never learned about
Oh.
pumping or like what sex actually happens.
Well, they didn't say like
didn't learn
you're
about
going to put your
ejaculation.
penis in a vagina and then you're
Well,
going to
they
like
should
put
teach
it,
you
pump
that.
it in and
You
out.
understand what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I would say parents
Really.
should be right.
Oh, Charlotte is saying, I want you to make sure that you concentrate on your own pleasure as much as his.
Mm-hmm.
AKA dump 69, because 69 is the dumbest fucking thing. It's like the opposite of what. Do men 69? Yeah, you can 69, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can easily 69. Okay,
I think 69ing is fine. I don't really like, whatever. I'd rather do other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so ending the scene. You have gone from sex positive to sex annoying. A 17-year-old did not write that. Seema and Carrie are at the Apple store. Carrie's like, my computer literally leapt to its death to get me out of that Zoom. And then her and Seema have this conversation about how Seema always has the most latest technology. She has the most recent iPhone before it's even been out. And Carrie still has a travel agent. Anyway, then Seema asks Carrie to basically get a summer house in the Hamptons. She's like, I've never asked another single woman to share a summer house. I mean, it's just too tragic. Too Bravo TV. And
that's
Carrie's
the second Housewives joke about the Hamptons in the course of 3 episodes.
I loved it. I'm like, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep it. Great.
More. Reference
more,
that shit.
Please. I like that, like, they know that, like, I would believe that exists in
I would do that. That'd be fun as shit.
No, I mean that like the Real Housewives exists in Sex and the City.
Oh yeah,
world.
yeah, no, well yeah.
I would definitely do a summer house. I'm not rich enough, so or else I would. I can't spend another weekend sharing a room. Okay, so basically Seema's been staying at like her friend's house in their kid's bedroom, so she can be out there. And I'm like, once they start talking about this house, I'm like, they're gonna have the most fucking fabulous, gorgeous place. Because remember, Carrie's worth $50 million.
Well, this actually takes a really good plot-wise turn.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay. Oh, I'm predicting they're gonna show up and the Airbnb listing is like a lie and it's gonna be like all
Okay,
busted and
you're
broken.
thinking way too hard. It's not even, no, it's like, but it's better. It's better.
Okay. All right. So they have this cute moment. Yes, they're gonna spend the summer together. Yay. Now we're to hard cut. Miranda coming out of the bathroom with jingly titties in a very low cut sleep shirt. I kept thinking they're gonna show them. I'm gonna see one. It didn't happen. But Miranda is so cold. She's like, it's cold. It's getting cold out.
They just finished eating each other
Brr,
out, by the way.
brr. Well,
Like they
and,
were
and
just
in case you guys couldn't have just assumed that, Miranda says, "Brr, come here," and Che says, "Come where? We both just came." And Miranda
Ew,
says,
that's like
"I
so.
know."
Ew, I'd be like, why did you say that?
Oh, I would have never gotten anywhere with Che. Though there's probably people who would listen to us at the shit we talk about. They're like, "Ew." So we find out that Che doesn't really like cuddling. She says, God damn it. They say, "Who am I, Paddington Pear?"
You nailed it. Bad
They
joke
say,
though,
"Who am
no.
I, Paddington Bear?"
Oh, but this
I'm
was
really
so
not in a snuggle
cunty.
space
Yeah,
right now.
I'm really not in a snuggly mood. Oh, okay. Could I feel
Why am
more
I
like a
here?
fucking
Is how I would
prostitute?
feel.
Yeah, right? Do you
I'd
want
be
to
like,
leave me
okay,
with
cool,
20
then
for a taxi home?
I'll go back to my place, is like literally what I would be like. Well, then
Right.
later, I guess.
Do you
I don't
think
know what I would
Che,
do.
oh, I guess Che said they both came. So they ate each other out and Che's like, all right, don't touch me now.
Except Che does the thing. Che doesn't. We've never seen Che eat out Miranda, but we've seen Miranda eating out Che.
Well, we definitely have.
Juicy lips and all.
Yeah.
Woof. All right. Can we just call it a night? Sure. Good night. Good night. Che decides that in bed next to Miranda is a good time to record her cameos. Miranda was annoying here though, also because Che's like, I just am really behind, and Miranda's like, well, what were you doing all day?
Oh yeah, you don't
If
go there.
someone said that to me,
oh, you know how many people have said that to me on several occasions? Almost all the time,
I'm
actually.
busy. I'm doing things.
Yeah, stuff.
What do you want me to do, Miranda?
Che is actively in like a depression and rejection from her pilot, their pilot not getting picked up.
Like, Che is fully in depression mode. Like, you can just be there for that person and just like be okay with it. No.
And they already had that last
don't.
episode where Miranda was like, let's go get the world. And Che's like, I need you to not do that. And so, but Miranda, I mean, I understand Miranda's also like frustrated. Like, you just please leave the house. Just like leave the house. And here's the other thing. It's never really explained why Che can't just go do one club appearance. You're obviously the Jerry Seinfeld of the 2015s.
I think they're implying that they're so depressed that they couldn't possibly do it.
Right.
They couldn't possibly not mention that their pilot is a flop, I guess.
But that would be like a good stand-up. That seems cathartic. That'd be great. Kathy Griffin would change that into gold.
Oh, well, yeah.
You turn that around in a week.
Well, Che is on their Cameo app, which in case you guys didn't know, Cameo is this app that you can go on and you can like pay like $50 to $200. Some people might not know.
Cody Brown
go on and you can like get celebrities, and in case you're not watching, I did big air quotes. People like Brittany Cartwright's mom from Vanderpump Rules will send you a homophobic and racist cameo.
Positively Awesome Isaac from TikTok. Jody got me one of those.
I don't even know.
He's that like autistic kid that's always at Disneyland.
Okay. And you have a cameo.
Kind of mean spirited, but yeah.
I got you a cameo from the daughter of
Carlin.
What was the woman's name though?
Jenny.
That was also in bad. Like, and I would say cameo is mostly
telling me and Jody to make like an invisible bomb, basically. She taught us how to make like a science experiment. She's like, She's like, here's a really great trick for you, Amanda and Jody. Take some hand sanitizer and light it on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And it's invisible. And then you can have someone walk up and like they don't know that it's on fire, but it is. We're like, cool. It's a good prank.
Anyway, Che is recording cameos in bed. All right. And what happens on the cameos is that people can respond back after you've sent them one. And I guess people are sending tit pics. Well, they can on here to send titty pics because Che's getting tit pics, responded back being like, hey, good night, sweetie, or whatever the fuck it says.
Jody and Justine tried to get me a cameo from Amber Portwood, and Amber Portwood went back and forth with Jody all week. And like several times, she's like, I'm on my way home to do it right now. I'm at school. And like, then she just like never did it. And Jody kept being like, okay, like I need it by tomorrow. And Amber's like, I'm on my way home. It'll be 10 minutes.
Did she ever get a refund or?
I don't think the money goes through until like they send it back to you.
The messaging back and forth though is actually that's also.
I guess you can. So I guess, but I don't know if you can. I don't think there's a little camera icon where I could now potentially send a tit pic to someone. To Amber.
It seems odd, but well, it sets off Miranda, and they're so worried about Che. That is the thing that was what annoyed me about this is that Miranda didn't seem too worried about truly worried about Che's depression and all of that until she saw the tit pic on their phone.
That would irritate me too, though, and it's annoying. It annoys me to no end is how cavalier Che is about it.
Miranda has gone into this relationship like the biggest idiot in the world. If
True.
I thought it was implied that Che fucks whoever they want. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Miranda's so like spiraling out of control here because she did leave she blew up her entire life for this relationship, so it has to work.
I agree, and I think that's maybe the underlying motivation of a lot of her actions. Let me chalk it up to better writing or like thought. Whatever. I just think that it was still annoying, but then Che goes back to recording, and here is the verbatim. Hey, this is Che Diaz. This cameo's for Kyle. Congrats on that early decision, dude. I know you're just gonna kill it at the California Institute of Technology.
What is the situation with Kyle here? That the cameo that he's receiving for getting accepted to the School of Technology.
Someone requested Che Diaz.
It's a troll.
Kyle a cameo.
It's a troll. It's like how people get Cody Brown cameos. They're 100%.
I don't think so because it's implied in the show that Che Diaz is like big time.
Yeah, but for like a straight dude going into I guess I can't assume he's straight. I guess there are gay men in schools of technology.
But like, are straight men like seeking out Che Diaz's comedy act, which is like, "Hey, suck my dick"? Like, is that
this box?
Like, I'm not judging. Anyway, oh great, you're leaving. Okay, it's implied that they're gonna like that. Miranda leaves. After this.
This scene
Miranda leaves. Right. Miranda has an early class.
I'm glad that they got rid of that stupid fucking joke where they trip on the chair on the way out, though.
Though this is annoying, in my opinion, because Miranda does pull this shit where she's like, why do I get the sullen, sad sack Che, and some random tit in Arizona gets all your smiles and all your charm? And this is where I was connecting slightly with Che, because Che says, because I'm not performing for you, Miranda. Is that the only part of me you want? Che Diaz, fuckboy and comic? And in a way, it kind of is. I think that Miranda wants an idyllic situation like this, whatever.
Yeah, but have you ever been in a relationship with a depressed person and then you're the punching bag? Because that's kind of how... It's one of my...
I want to see how long this has gone, though, and how long this is lasting. It feels like a situational...
Also, but this is kind of, but I think this is a more common thing than anything is that you always kind of take everything out on your partner. Because me and Brad went out after we got divorced and we get along so much better now. And like, he said that straight out. He's like, I know I took it all out on you. Yeah. And I was like, you are so much more fun when I'm not in a relationship with you because I don't have to take all that on.
Well, you know? Yeah, I do. I think though that Miranda in this situation, I think the whole situation's stupid because Che shouldn't be recording cameos in bed. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And then Miranda I feel like Miranda knew what she's getting into with Che. I'm sorry. I've never looked at Che as like a paragon of stability and like anything. I don't know. I think that
you knew exactly what like, this was. This was chaotic.
It's a stand-up comedian who you've watched and experienced all of it. Like they're not like the person who's like ready to like wife you up. Like get a grip. And it's already been established that they fucked every single person on Earth.
Your life is significantly worse in every way. You now have 3 residences and you don't actually live at any of them. What's your address right now?
And I'm still confused because Miranda still doesn't say she's a lesbian. She just says that she likes Che.
Che.
And I'm not judging a person who comes out late.
A lot of pressure on Che, to be honest.
I'm not judging that at all. What I'm judging here is that I don't understand. I'm not getting it. Like you didn't try and I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway.
But at least you get the catharsis of Steve being the voice of the audience later.
Well, and Steve, don't forget, in season 1, Steve was an old man who couldn't hear very well.
Yeah, he can hear fine now, eh?
He's fine. I will say he didn't look as hot in that season, or in that scene later. Because he is more disheveled. I was kind of hoping for like him to be really sexy in the scene, like just out of the shower and being like, Miranda, I can't do this. Anyway, it was fine. All right. So continuing. Great. Carrie and Amanda now. Carrie ends up having that thing. Oh, it was a piece. It was not because it was titled Carrie Bradshaw Loves a Dark Berry Lip. What? Is the headline for her piece. Remember at the beginning we were saying it's a podcast? It was a piece for something.
Oh.
It says, is the headline for her piece on my sad and heartfelt memoir. Forget about these internet interviews. Thousands of women who have loved and lost from every corner of the country are coming to New York for WidowCon, and you will be their queen. It's rare to hear such a positive and negative in the same sentence. 2 words, book sales, and they are going to love you. It's like a rock concert, but for sad people. So like a Wilson Phillips concert. Anyway, then Amanda, guys, here's burying the fucking lead of this episode. Amanda forgot to tell us that she had a sizable role in this act.
Yeah, my doppelganger enters the scene.
Carrie,
2 doppelgangers. Both of my doppelgangers are in this scene with Carrie.
Oh, you think you look like the other one?
Or yeah, her name's Amanda too.
I don't think you look like her, and I don't really think you look like Rachel Dratch. But
kind of. But
I could see like touches of that, but I think you're.
I admit it.
Prettier than Rachel Dratch.
Thank
no
you,
offense to Rachel Dratch.
Thank you, Joe. Well, her entire book is about. I know I'm ugly. Let's talk about it.
I love Rachel Dratch, and I was so glad that she was in this. I was like, thank God they brought someone in here with half a sense of something.
This scene was good though, and Sarah Jessica Parker was really funny in this too. I guess that was me.
A lot of interesting things roll out in this scene where we find out that this woman, her name was Karen, used to be Carrie's writing partner. We find out that it was more like a small gig writing a movie. Carrie's diminishing it, but
of course,
the other Carrie is like sounding like it's a real big, like she really was upset.
I believe and Rachel Dratch more. I feel like Carrie writes people off really quickly.
Completely.
Probably a really significant relationship, actually.
Carrie's whole thing is saying that Carrie, Rachel Dratch basically says that Carrie like skipped out on the very last the actual
Which sounds like something Carrie would do.
And Carrie's excuse is, well, I was drunk a lot back in the 90s.
It's like, okay.
And then Rachel Dratch, you find out kind of later that I felt like it seemed like Rachel Dratch then set Carrie up later, right? Intentionally.
I don't think so.
To be after that comedian person?
No.
I think she was trying to set Carrie up.
No, I don't think this was nefarious at all. I think she genuinely was like, fine.
No, because when they first walk into the thing later, she's like, oh, Hannah Bobana, or whatever the hell her name is a really hard act to follow. She's hilarious.
I didn't take this like this.
Oh, I was kind of thinking that because she later is like, you better not be late. Don't be late, Carrie.
Yeah, but I thought that was funny because I think
I
that
agree.
it was like all this niceties here, but then she's like, no, but seriously, you have to actually show up on time. Like, can you just do this one
And
thing?
Carrie's like, I'm hardly drunk anymore.
Yeah, I'm not as drunk nowadays.
I would be like, you're a 60-year-old woman. I'm gonna slap you right now. Shut your mouth. Just kidding.
Your husband died over a year ago.
I still am on Carrie's side with the grieving. I'm fine with that. It's now diminishing that you kind of did fuck up Rachel Dratch's situation here, and you're just diminishing it by saying, well, I drank a lot back then.
Yeah. And then being like, I don't even remember. But I mean, there were funny lines here where she's like, well, somebody, some of the caramel macchiato. And Carrie's like, I guess that was me, even though I've never had one in my life. I don't know. There's a good little back and forth here.
It's implied that their movie was similar to the movie 27 Dresses.
We watched that recently, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Carrie, I'm kidding. Yada, yada.
That scene's over.
Bring, bring. Che is doing what I like to do on every day I have time off, watching a movie, watching TV, eating snacks, smoking weed on a couch. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to do that? So I was on Che's side here. Che.
Carrie calls Che to come to WidowCon with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Che is sitting on the couch, watching TV, smoking weed, eating is surrounded by snacks, like veggie.
Yeah, which is my daily life.
That's what I was like, wow. I'm relating to Che here. We find out that Carrie wants Che to go to WidowCon. What the fuck is WidowCon? A convention of sad women who have lost the loves of their life. Che, I lived in a loft like that once. Find out that Carrie is worried to speak in front of such a large crowd. And so she called Che because they're so fearless.
And she's like, I'm not feeling very fearless lately. My pilot didn't get picked up. That's what you heard.
I know it's a lot to ask. Yeah, it is for a pussy like me. But yes, what the fuck? It's for you. Thank you.
And then Che says, oh, mom says I need to get out of the house anyway. And Carrie's like,
oh, yeah. Besides my mommy Miranda said I have to leave the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, now we're having paella at Naya's and Miranda's, I guess.
Great. They bring the fake wine. Miranda says it's like warm grape Kool-Aid. Andre Rashad texts Naya. And she calls him she's like, sorry, this is my soon-to-be ex. They have this whole conversation back and forth. Do you think you'll be able to stay friends afterwards? You know, I don't know. We've been together forever, hoping that we can do it. Someone says that they do it cold turkey.
That is weird, though. It is weird when that person's just like not around anymore. It's weird.
Especially if you've been together for like 10 years. I mean,
yeah.
Unless that person completely changed, which maybe Andre Rashad is just such a different person now. Yeah. Anyway, then we get a mention of Trey. Charlotte says, I always thought that I would keep in touch with my ex-husband Trey, but he did not want that. I want them to bring Trey back in season 3.
Oh, that would be so amazing. Even just like if he I don't know, just like to have a friendly conversation with Charlotte.
Maybe maybe he stumbles they're in a gallery. I don't even care. Whatever.
I would love that, honestly.
One scene.
It actually does make sense too, because she's like, well, I wanted to, but Trey didn't want that. And like, it does make sense because like Charlotte was the love of Trey's life. He just like the mother thing was, I think she was definitely the one that got away. And I think it was just heartbreaking. And he said, give her everything. She did nothing. That was just like, oh, very
poignant. I loved that. I'm looking forward to getting to all that in a year. Mm-hmm. So they ask if Charlotte, Miranda and Steve can be friends one day, and Miranda hopes so, even though she hasn't been very nice to Steve.
Carrie says that she hasn't. She's like, well, I'm getting closure with my ex writing partner. I apparently hurt her more than I hurt my ex Aiden. So this was at least okay. So I was
they're doing foreshadowing with this,
right? But I like the way that was dropped. It made sense in the story. It wasn't just out of nowhere. Like they did we kind of coddled it by bringing in Trey first. So I like that. Great.
They also mentioned that Steve said to Carrie, I guess, or one of them, that he's never taking his wedding ring off. It's till death do they part. And you know, that's to bring us into later, right?
You know what I find funny here is that Carrie in the first movie gets so pissed at Miranda, which I believe she had the right to, because Miranda did tell that secret from her about the how Big was being weird that night, and Miranda says you should never get married. Remember that? And then she tells Carrie that on Valentine's Day. Isn't this kind of the same thing that Carrie like kept that secret from Miranda here that Steve told her that?
I
guess it's probably not the same thing.
I don't know what the hell I like. If I went and met with you, if this was a situation and I was Carrie and I had met with your husband that you had just left, you know, and whatever, and they were saying that kind of stuff, no way in hell would I be like, Amanda, guess what Steve did?
Because that's kind of it's gross to tell me that. I don't need to know that, and like that's not. Yeah,
Carrie and Steve are friends too.
Right.
They've been friends just as like almost just as long, right? You know, it's established that these people have intertwined.
Yeah. But she says like the only reason I told you and I'm telling you now is because, you know, like you need to go and talk to Steve. Like you need to let him move past this. So great. So that's fine. She needs to be closer to Steve.
Then cut to Carrie and Seema are looking at their Hamptons houses. And that's when we arrive that Carrie is writing an email to
Aiden. And in the email, it shows it, and it's like, not sure if this is still your email. And it's like, well, they don't change. Emails don't change around, do they? Like phone numbers?
Well, some people might just not use an email anymore.
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't switch over to someone. Like there's no one else out there right now with the email primadonna46@hotmail.com that just is out there and I can never get access to
it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, they talk about what they're going to have at this beautiful house. They find this gorgeous place. Seema basically is being like an old lady, like fumbling on the computer, being like, oh my God, this mouse is just so fast. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to accidentally send this email. And that's really the scene. There you go. They find this fucking gorgeous place that they're going to stay at. And it's gonna be time for WidowCon.
All right, let's okay. We're now next morning we wake up. There's a bomb cyclone. So
Which I was like, what the hell's a bomb cyclone?
Dude,
it's a blizzard.
So it's a blizzard. I've lived through one of these in New York, and what I will tell you is that there ain't no fucking way this many people are showing up to this event. In fact, if anyone did show up, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like you're not walking around the street. You would get yelled at if you're walking around the streets like that.
I was definitely expecting the resolution to be like that LTW would show up and like no one else was there, or like.
Well, that is what happened. There were a lot of people.
They had they had like half the audience. Carrie's event was full.
Carrie, she's walking around. Okay. Her hair is like, the thing is have you ever walked through a blizzard like that? Because your face is red. It is like knives coming at you. Wet knives. And her hair and her makeup is just, she's on the phone with Charlotte. Hey, Char, what? You need a condom?
They do a pan up. They do this very cinematic scene. First, they do a cinematic thing. Oh, wait. There's stuff to get to before we get to that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, sorry.
They talk to Che, blah, blah, blah. We have this whole thing about why they're playing it. Then we find out that Charlotte is making hot cocoa. Lily's ready to get fucked because Blake's parents are stuck in Connecticut. Then LTW had her car service canceled. So now George Washington wants to make her go to his thing, which I was like, I will choke you out, George Washington. Fuck you, dude. He did. Yeah. Why is his first suggestion not, I'll drop you off at yours then? Like, his first suggestion is, you just come to mine then.
Fuck your shit. Hers is like her move, like an interview or her movie. His is just like a comptroller thing that would have been canceled anyway because it's a
his is a fundraising event. She's like, she literally said, she says, MoMA is honoring me as a Black filmmaker. I will take a dog sled there if I have to. And then I was like, oh, this is when I was starting to get excited.
Than your comptroller shit, right?
He's like, okay, then well, I'll drop you off. And she's like, no, I don't need a knight in shining Tahoe to get me there. I can get there myself. She's like, okay, do you? And she's like, yes, I will do me. And then we get a montage. She appears,
Love
and I've
it.
already seen this outfit because I think it was being judged. And now that I see it, I'm like, she's walking down. She has this like cape thing with a head covering.
Well,
first she takes her wig off at home.
Yeah. Oh, which is
And then
always
you're
such
like,
a powerful
ooh.
moment anyway.
It is.
For any
And I
woman.
really see, maybe that's also why I'm like, okay, cool. Like we're getting to see more of her. And who
Are
she
you
is.
finding that when you're watching media nowadays, it's hitting you different? Like anything with women empowerment stuff, it's like hitting you a lot harder this week?
I'm still in my Delulu phase.
Okay,
So
yeah,
maybe in like when it all becomes like settled, when all the
Yeah.
dust is settled, I will then get more into my pure depression phase about it. But you know, you
I
gotta
will
be
tell you,
Delulu if you
it's a lot less fun to make fun of Cody Brown now because before he's such a ridiculous person that it's like, oh, he's just crazy. And like he's one of those wild QAnon men. And now it's like, oh, you're running the country now. But I digress.
It's hard because that adds a layer to everything you start.
Yeah, it's just like it's not really funny to
anything.
make fun of this now because now it's legitimately scary.
It's more like you just want to be like, you're a piece of shit and I hate your guts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Charlotte, then Charlotte, Rock, and Harry are watching Edward Scissorhands. We find out Blake doesn't have any condoms. He's worried the pharmacist will tell his parents that he bought condoms in his neighborhood, I guess. So Charlotte.
Well, then in that case, then why doesn't Lily get off her ass and go to the pharmacist and get them? Lily can go.
Charlotte won't be wandering in the blizzard.
Right.
We need Charlotte in the blizzard.
She looks pretty good in the blizzard too.
I like this was a very tropey situation. It's like, oh, one person needs to go into the blizzard. Oh, the other one needs to go in the blizzard.
You have
the
to
other one needs to get in the blizzard.
disbelief for the fabulosity of the whole scene. So
and you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. So, but then we have this like funny part where Charlotte's like, just get that, just do it, get it. Like, I'm not going out in this. And Lily's like, okay, never mind. Blake Googled how to pull out. And then she hangs up the phone.
That's like, yeah. I mean, good play.
I don't even know how I would deal with the situation. Like, I'm glad I don't have kids because like the moment I would find out my little child is like,
I thought Charlotte would have sent her with them, to be honest. Like, are you sure you have condoms? Make sure that Blake has condoms.
Oh, I would have been like, here's a bag, here's everything. Like, I'd be like all of that.
Or like, wouldn't you get Lily on birth control?
I don't know. Charlotte goes to the pharmacy. It's closed. She yells through the window. So she calls Carrie. Hey, Charlotte, I saw your 2 missed calls. Is everything okay? Carrie, it's an emergency. I'm around the corner from you. Do you have any condoms? Why do you need condoms? And why do you think I would have any? I don't know. You were having sex with that guy, Franklin. And I just thought what? I was worried about getting pregnant. No, I don't know. Like for STDs or whatever. I thought I had an STD situation. Well, I mean, if I ever needed condoms, I wouldn't call Amanda Kaczynski. So I get
it. That's right. That's what I was going to say.
No, of course not. So we find out, she's going to get them. Yay. Okay. LTW. This scene, I just implore guys, just go watch it.
This made me cry. I looked up to see if this woman in the bathroom was someone like famous, and it wasn't.
I was thinking she was probably someone famous too, but then
she was so good at her one line that I assumed that she was like a Gloria Steinem-esque. Probably.
So what happens is LTW goes into the bathroom. She's arrived at the place. This older woman comes around the corner and she starts washing her hands. She comes out of the stall or whatever. And LTW is taking her hat off. She's taking her like cover up thing off. And then she takes the like crystallized head cover thing off. So she has like her wig cap. And then she opens this fabulous, amazing lacquered box, pulls out her wig, puts on her wig. And then the old woman is like watching this gorgeous old woman too.
Gorgeous black woman. I feel like that's also important.
Yeah, it is important. Like this gorgeous older black woman. And LTW puts on her hair and she says, we're not going to let a little snow stop us, are we? And the old woman's like, no, we are not. And I got chills just thinking about
I got chills with you saying it.
I loved it. So, okay.
Amazing.
Love that scene, guys. I would just actually recommend watching like if you want to watch this
From the
episode, watch from the
Cyclone,
snow
yeah.
part on, and then you'll be fine.
It's about halfway through the episode, so you
yeah.
got about 20 good minutes. But then you can continue to watch, and then you get the Steve fight with Miranda right after. So
Yeah.
from the
Steve
bonfire alone, it's
Miranda annoyed me in that, but it's okay.
Oh,
Carrie, like I said, Carrie checked her dress coat thing in the coat check. And Che looks like the guy Carrie used to buy her Christmas trees from.
But immediately Che is likable. Like even just Che standing there was more likable.
Agreed. The connection, yeah. When Che's whole situation isn't like, yeah, I'm a big old like I fuck everyone and I'm non-binary. Like I'm not judging the non-binary part. I'm just saying I was gonna say I'm a big old lesbian, but she's not a lesbian, or they're not a lesbian because they're not binary, right? I fuck everyone and I ream pussy and dick all day. I'm Che Diaz. Oh yeah. When it's not that, it like the character is actually like likable. Yeah, I'm fine if they're talking about non-binary.
And Che's also being they're doing something that is selfless here, that is for someone else.
Exactly. It did take Carrie convincing them though to do it. They're like, my husband died, and Che's like, okay, I'll be there.
Right.
See you at 1. Then we find out about the widow wand, which is a vibrator for widows, I guess. It's on back order. 1/3 of women are widows, blah, blah, blah. They're doing this whole thing. And do you know who this woman is? The Dawn Rickles of death in real life.
Yeah, I looked her up, but am I supposed to know her?
It's Julie White, and she has she's a Tony Award winner, darling.
She has like a Christine Ebersol quality.
She also was on a TV show that I knew from growing up, and it was like, what was that show? It had this woman on it, Rhett Butler. Her name.
Oh yeah.
Is it Rhett Butler?
Brett Butler.
What was that show? Oh my god!
It was called. Oh no, not Sybil. Was it Sybil?
No, that had Christine Baranski on it. I know what. Oh my god. Yeah, Julie White. She has a Tony, but she was also on that show. Oh my god, that's where I remember her from.
Oh well, I have Julie White IMDb up right now. Okay, let's see. We got she's been in a lot actually. She's okay. Oh god, was this like way in the 90s? 6 Feet Under?
Yeah, it was like probably 92, 93.
Okay, let's see. Grace Under Fire.
Grace Under, yes. Oh, I remember watching that. She's been in tons of shit. She is good, and she's a Broadway actress. So if you're a Tony winner and a Broadway actress, I'm down for you.
Is she a Tony winner?
Yeah, she won for like a one-woman show or something.
Oh, that's pretty fabulous.
Like maybe 10 years ago.
All right.
Anyway, she does a really great set for the widows, I guess. And as they're waiting, oh my god.
The little dog laugh she won for.
The little dog laugh. Carrie's freaking out because, the other Carrie has set up our Carrie as the following act to like this woman who is bringing down the house, and the entire audience is like, yeah, oh my god. Like,
this was actually a better comedy set than anything Che has done.
I was gonna say this actually was good, and it was well delivered and like funny. I mean, like, I don't know if I was a widow if I'd be laughing at all that, but I'm a bitch, so I'm like a.
But these are like like light jokes.
Yeah,
like I lost my husband when I was 45. Oh, he didn't die. I just lost him at Costco. He was just very, very one of those.
Yeah. So Carrie's like, oh my god, Che, give me a joke. I need at least one joke here to go out. And Che's like, maybe something like, the widow wand doesn't come with a lifetime guarantee, but then neither did my husband. And
that's Carrie's actually that's a solid joke though.
But when Carrie goes out to give it, first the comedian basically like cuts her at the knees and says a joke about the vibrator already. So she's like, fuck. And then she's like, well, at least it's not about the widow wand. Here's what Carrie says. Geez, I wouldn't have come all this way in the snow if I had known the widow wand was on back order.
I mean, that was a good. I mean, the audience should have had a little bit of reaction.
Well, if they had just come from laughing like their heads off, like they would not just be.
You would at least give a polite titter at that, like, oh, Carrie.
Carrie reads from her book. Oh no, then it cuts to LTW. And they are.
This scene went okay. So what happens She's presenting, no one's in the audience, blah blah blah. George Washington shows up, I cry. That took about 11 minutes. They like did like a legit full interview with LTW.
I liked that.
Okay,
I
but
was
like,
fine with it because they haven't given her shit to
momentum.
do so far. So I'm like, okay. And she talks about how her movie is all about 3 different Black women that you follow, the first but not the last, and about how the different firsts in the history, about the herstory and the sheroes who built America, which I thought was really. I'm like, okay, it gives LTW fucking something.
Yeah, yes.
And then George Washington walks in, and then she's like happy to see him there, and
That
the
is
same
nice.
as always.
Again, a man doing bare minimum. He showed up.
Okay, so then Charlotte shows up to bring Lily the condoms. Blah blah blah. Please don't, be good. Don't fuck. And then it ends with Charlotte like praying to the sky. Okay.
Lily hugs her though. It's a nice moment. It's a nice mom dog moment.
But we're running here. I would like to wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
I thought what over time, Carrie gives a whole section from her book. It is good. I'm not going to read it here, guys. Watch the episode if you want. Maddie Thomas comes up to Carrie and is like, "You were so great. I loved your book. It really helped me. Sometimes you just need a good cry." And so it's nice.
That's a nice way to wrap this up because Carrie was worried that she wouldn't be funny enough. But
exactly.
It's like, sometimes you do need to cry. I love crying.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a nice way because Carrie was feeling insecure, as though like Carrie needs any more smoke blown up her ass. Yay, everyone thinks they did great. And Che even says, you
inspired me.
This is bizarre. This is like when straight men take mushrooms once and they're like, I've learned about
ayahuasca.
Like, you're supposed to care about other people? Because Che has now had like a turn of heart. And they had Che's like, you know what? You had a real person die. And in my show, I just had my ego die, which I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. Fine. Great. Moving on. Miranda. Hey. She shows up to Steve comes in. Miranda's folding laundry on the couch. Where's Brady? At Scout. I decided to give him a couple shifts. Oh, he's working at the bar now? Yeah, he's working at the bar. I got a problem with that.
He's a scout. Yeah, I gave him a cup of tea. He's like super like mouthy now. Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
The bar scout.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it
too. And I would be like, Miranda, aren't you happy about this? Why wouldn't you be happy about this? He's working. Anyway, yeah. They're like, how's the apartment search going? It's not. There's nothing out there. I'm not moving. What do you mean you're not moving? You said in therapy that you would find a place. Yeah, I lied. So now what? Because I can. I can't keep leaving. Because I can. I can't keep living like this. Coming here, doing laundry, dropping off Brady's medication, cleaning the rotting Whole Foods leftovers out of the fridge. Make sure you guys remember that it was Whole Foods leftovers. Very important. You said you would find a place, so I have been. This is my house. My house. Really? You should tell that to the mortgage that only has my name on it.
What a cunty thing to say. And also, as a realtor, do you not find it insane that he was never on the mortgage?
It depends on what certain states you are in, because like in Arizona, if a husband and wife were to buy a home and one of them was not going to be on the mortgage, they have to explicitly like sign away being on it.
Well, then shut the fuck up, Miranda. New York is like pretty fair about stuff like that. So
they also, though, I think after a certain point of time, like they've been together for decades.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he has some kind of something over this place.
You should be giving him spousal support.
And just ask Steve, because he says, I made it. This kitchen, I built it. It was a shithole before I did everything. I did everything here. This floor, this fireplace, the fucking bookshelf. All of it is my house, my house. You never wanted to come here to Brooklyn. You never wanted me, and you never even wanted Brady. So why don't you find a new place and get the fuck out of our lives?
And Miranda's like, that's how she reacted. By the way, that was really good. Did you rehearse that?
No.
That was really good.
Well, I thought there was one of the better moments of the fucking series so far. It was well written and like,
And the audience was like,
true.
yes, thank you.
Now, I do think it is slightly a low blow to say you never even wanted Brady, because if we remember, this is not the week to talk about women's rights, motherfucker. So let's not. But say we did. Anyway.
And she did want Brady. She actually literally decided to have Brady.
Exactly.
But fine, low blow.
So she's like all worked up. They end up spooning in bed because he doesn't want her to leave. Blah, blah, blah. She hates that she hurt him so much. I mean, the penultimate moment is him bitch slapping him down with all of that. And they do this whole back and forth, She's like, they're in bed laying together.
Because they're cuddling. He's like, please just stay, Miranda. Please, you can't leave like this, my God.
And he's like, I wish there was something that I could do that could help us move past. And she goes, what's this? And it's a gold condom wrapper, which I'm like, damn, is Steve slanging out magnums? Because that's what the gold wrappers are here, I think.
I will tell you, in my experience, whenever like I am with a guy and they do a condom is involved, I would say that like 90% of them bring along a magnum. Because
Amanda's got a thing for big dick.
You know it. They still will fit like a smaller dick, but it's like, okay, like they'll still
saggy.
Not even really. Like it'll conform to your dick.
Oh my God.
It's always so funny. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. It looks, she's like, what is this? What is this, Steve? He's like, it's not what it looks like. It looks like you've been fucking someone in our bed, which you have a little bit of audacity there. Yeah, you were eating Che's puss out a week ago in LA. So shut the fuck up.
This morning.
They find out it's the girl from Whole Foods. That's why there was Whole Foods food in the kitchen.
Again, we didn't even need that information at all. You did not need that backstory on this.
So, playing victim. Who said I was a victim? That's in your head. You moved on. I moved on. I ain't a fucking victim. Great. My bad. You are not a victim, which is so good because I was so worried about you moving on. And guess what? You already have. So I am happy for you. Happy for us. I really am. I don't even know who this is talking at this point. I think it's Miranda.
It's Miranda. She's like storms out.
Spiraling out about, you chose this, Miranda. I'm sorry. I'm having less empathy for Miranda in this situation because it's like, you did choose this. And when you choose a situation like that, you need to think about what's going to go down the line. Like, you can't just expect everyone to be like, it's like when my dad decided to marry a woman who was 5 years younger than me, who was less than half his age, and expected everyone to just be like, well, I'm glad you're happy.
For you. Yeah.
No, bitch, it doesn't work like that. All right. All right. So then
now Miranda gets home and Che breaks up with her.
Great. And then they like spoon in bed again.
And then Miranda says 2 breakups in one night. I'm really nailing it. So great. At least we have a reset now. And Miranda, they left things amicably. They basically just agree. This isn't going to work out. This isn't going to get better. We fucking hate each other. We're both toxic.
And then Carrie says, and just like that, I realize some relationships are meant to stay in the past. Oh, but then she hits send.
Yeah.
To send the email to Aiden.
Right.
Did she say are or aren't? I don't know. I want to wrap this up because we got to do our Patreon, and baby, I'm sizzling. I'm ready to get to it. You guys, we love you guys so much. We made it to the end of the episode somehow. It was called Bomb Cyclone, which I hate that name. It's just an awful name. They need better titles on these episodes. Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, you made this far. If you aren't subscribed, what the fuck? Hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment. Find all of our shit. We love you guys, okay?
Join us for our weekly roundup on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And other than that, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you, I guess, next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.